And then I was reading like 2021, some kind of loss of hearing that you suffered or something.
That's right, yeah.
What? Yeah,
Uh,
go on, sorry.
so yeah, it was October 21, a normal Thursday, I believe it was. Got up and realized something had changed in my hearing. And it was like all the fucking bass had gone from my right ear. And it kind of fluctuated over the weeks and it became like Dalek-y at some time, so it's almost like you were hearing two songs playing at once, which is fucking really trippy. And obviously I was panicking because I thought, oh man, I'm never going to be able to um play live or even listen mixed records or anything. If you imagine when you speak on a microphone, it's got feedback on it. So there's like a note. It was like that. So music just sounded absolutely mental. At the first, when it first happened, I thought it was because I never wear earplugs on stage, and I used to love that. I used to crave that onslaught of volume. So I thought it finally caught up with me, but it turned out well. Someone looked at my ear and said he got wax in there. I got it taken out, and nothing changed. And that was the moment when it dawned on me, oh, I'm in trouble here. And it was like that shot in Jaws when it's like a crash zoom, and I just knew. I just thought, oh my god, here we go. This is properly serious now. So yeah, it kind of changed over a few weeks. It kind of changed a little bit, up and down, getting better, worse, and then it kind of just stuck being bad. And there was a point where somebody told me, for those 3 weeks, I thought it's going to come back and it will go back to normal. But then one visit to the hospital confirmed that it's gone for good, and that's when it. Um, and yes, so I think the next 6 months or to a year, there was some kind of almost PTSD kind of vibe going down, um, of trying to get my head around it. And bizarrely enough, a similar thing happened to Sam, our other guitarist, where he lost his hearing overnight as well. Um, but I mean, it was literally in the middle of making Get Up Sequences Part One. Um, so halfway through the album, just lost my hearing basically on my right side. So yeah, that wasn't ideal. That kind of slowed everything down. And if you can imagine songs I'd known I could hear properly, and now I could only hear half of it. But I kind of carried on and mixed it, kind of panned things around as I thought it should be. I was kind of guessing a little bit, got a few professionally types to have a little listen over and stuff. So I kind of muddled through it, and I think it was actually helpful, the whole process of not just taking my mind off something, but also surrounding myself in that music. Um it's quite weird to be surrounding yourself in so-called upbeat music, or whatever you want to call it, but actually be kind of vaguely traumatized. So I think it was actually a helpful process, and I think I called it like a life raft at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the reason for it? Was it being exposed to loud music or
It's
what?
this quite a rare thing called Meniere's disease. Yeah,
Oh, right, okay.
people don't exactly know what it is or how it happened, or there's no real reason for it. It just happens. So uh the first thing I read was it's more damaging to your quality of life than cancer. It's like, oh fuck, brilliant. But it,
Blimey.
it hasn't turned out to be that at all. It's just that I can't hear. It's fine. It's turned out to be fine. It didn't pan out to be as bad in its current state as I thought it would be, and I can still fucking make music and I can still jump around on stage. So it's not much else to it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think I worked with someone who had that. Did Ryan Adams have it as well? I think.
Ryan Adams, that's right, exactly. Yeah, he had to give up touring. He would literally, it affects your balance, and he would literally just be standing there on stage and then be on the floor the next minute. You can have these vertigo attacks where you literally just go and hit the floor and the whole room spinning. I haven't had that so far, so I'm probably the lucky one, one of the lucky ones at the minute. Yeah, but who else had it? Huey Lewis of Huey Lewis and the News has got
Oh,
it.
really?
I think Chris Packham's got it as well. Anyway, it's not a massive deal, so it's cool.